You know, for someone that isn't a YouTuber, I do stress a whole lot out on the lighting. Wow. Okay, 15 minutes in and out. I'm gonna be revising, not just recounting events that have happened between March of this year and 3 days ago. I probably should have written a script for this because, wow, there is a lot. Anyway, about, I think, the 3rd of March. I look horrible with this hair. Holy hell. I swear, I have better hair days. Yeah. I'm just gonna keep this uncapped. 3rd of March, I found a stray kitten as soon as I clocked out from work. It was 11 p.m., and I heard like a weird chirping sound behind the shed that's covering my garden. I probably should have had like a diagram to show a little map. Anyway, I found that and I turned the corner and I told myself, what the hell is that thing? And I immediately felt bad and took that back when I realized it was a baby cat. It was a kitten and a newborn for that matter. The umbilical cord was still attached. I didn't find the second one until a second, I guess, review of where I found it. And poor thing, it did not chirp. It didn't move much. But as soon as we took it in, we got it with them warm. And the second one I found died the next morning. I'm pretty sure because of fading kitten syndrome or hypothermia. It was a cold night. What is this now, like story time with Abby? We're off to a great, happy start so far. Wow. Anyway, I've never experienced a kitten death before, or a pet death, that's what I'm trying to say. So when it died, I tried not to let it bother me. I probably have an issue with, what's it called, pushing back my emotions, burying them, never letting them see the light of day. Anyway, that kitten death did not affect me until 2 days later. And what set it off did not help at all either. There was this guy. It was around 10 p.m. this night. I was doing the closing shift. We get at 11. Around 10, as soon as I'm gleeking, wow. As soon as the lights dimmed to, show that it's the final hour, this guy comes up to me, and he asked me if I found a lost card. I told him no, but hey, the service desk is right around the corner. Let's go see if anybody found it in the lost and found. Left it, whatever. The only description he gave me was the card was red. So I'm like, oh, okay. This guy looked homeless. Pretty sure he is. I'll admit to stalking him for a bit, but bear with me. Not for weird reasons. I'm trying to protect my ass out here. Yeah, that's my disclaimer. Where was I? Oh yeah, the card. I pulled out 4 cards, 2 debit, credit, whatever. A Mickey Mouse gift card and a normal gift card. And I thought maybe he was trying to score some money, so I laid them out on the table for him. I'm like, okay, here are the cards I found. See if any of those are yours. And he immediately changes his mood, just like that, and asks, "Do you want to die?" With a serious ass face, and I look at him in confusion, and I'm like, "I'm sorry." He says it again, and I'm like, "No." He does this like weird. I don't remember if it was this. I think it was this, but it was like a telephone signal. Put it up to his ear super slowly, and just got quieter until it was a whisper, until his lips were moving. There was no sound, and I'm like, okay, I got me a weirdo. I told him to speak up because I couldn't understand the thing he was saying. He got mad, and I'm sorry if I'm taking my time on this. I don't have a script. And I've given security reports. I've given cop reports, police reports, and they won't do anything. I've said the details so many times. I felt like I was running around in circles, and in a sense, I was. So this is probably the best you're gonna get. I don't remember exact dates anymore because it's been like what, since March. About 5 months, 5, 6 months. Anyway, I tell him to speak up. He gets mad and he says, "Do you want to die? Your name's Daniel, right? Your name's Daniel. Your name's Daniel. You have a cousin named Luis, don't you?" My name's not Daniel, and I don't have a cousin named Luis. What the hell? And he pulls like this cop charade thing where he asks for my ID, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. Walk off, ask security, and no, not ask security. I make sure the customers by the side of the self checkouts hear me, and I tell them, this guy's threatening me. I want him outside of the store. And he puts up a fuss again, saying, "Oh yeah, let me see your ID." And I'm like, I ain't showing you shit. That has my address on it. I'm not showing you a damn thing. You're homeless. You're not all that, buddy. And he does the cell phone thing, getting quieter, getting pissed off at the security guard thing again. And that was the end of it. But somewhere in that confrontation, when he said, "Do you want to die?" that probably hit some kind of nerve in me, because after the whole thing was done, I started feeling fear to a degree I've never felt before. And I still don't understand it, and the best I can come up with is a panic attack, and I'm sure that's like a big buzzword around the internet, but I'm not diagnosed with anything, but that's the closest thing I can think of. I just was on high alert. I was nervous. I was scared for my life. And yeah, no, over time, like 3 months later, this is all like within 3 months. What I'm about to say is within 3 months. Obviously, I didn't want to go to work the next day. I did. What he did for the next 2 weeks. Where do I start with this? I immediately got a knife on hand. My brother stole it from my best friend. I stole it back. I've kept it since. So I had that on hand, but I didn't feel secure enough. This guy looks like I would lose to him in a fight. I know better now, but yeah, I was scared. And over the next 2 weeks, and even beyond that, it would be a steady occurrence that he would be on the property 4 to 5 times a day. And trust me, a cart pushing job is not worth it already. I hate my job. Don't work retail. And with this guy giving me like this whole adrenaline rush that I kept up every time I walked out into the parking lot. It was mentally draining, physically and mentally, and it was horrible, and I hated every second of it, and you know the rest. Maybe. Like I mentioned earlier, I made security reports. I made police reports. I pointed the guy out to them so many times, but trespassing bans and whatever, I forgot the number, 4448, whatever. None of those worked. This guy would just not screw off. And, obviously I was getting more desperate. I was like, I can't do this. I swear to God, I'm gonna quit. And the thing is, but within those 2 weeks after that altercation, my bad, I began to stalk him because I noticed he was following me around. I live right across the street from my job. I'm not even kidding. It is just an asphalt road's distance. I don't know how much I have to clarify into this for anybody that sees this, because with the few rants I've done with other people, they don't seem to understand how close I am to my job and how stressful it is when you have a stalker that can just see where the hell you go. I walk out that glass door of my building and I just jaywalk, and bam, I am behind the back of my job, the back of the store. That's not a lot of distance to kind of dissuade him. And yet I still managed to figure it out. I noticed he was stalking me one day, following me. He doesn't make it. He thought it was slick. It was very obvious he was following me. I took like 2 extra blocks around the building. How do I say it? Instead of going straight to the door, I just continued down the street. I took a left and boomeranged about around the second building. I entered the door through there, the back door, and I spotted his ass from the second story window. And I have a video somewhere. I don't know why I still have it when nothing's gonna happen. But hey, I took that video. And sure enough, he was following me. He looked confused as to which direction I took when he couldn't find me anymore. Let's see. Let's see. The week after his first encounter with me, my first encounter with him, whatever, goes both ways. A guy comes up, I'm out on my break, I'm already still having that adrenaline rush. And this random other homeless guy, who turns out he's not homeless, he will actually come back later. Let's call him Jimmy for now, and the original guy that threatened me. Not Roach number 2, but Goldilocks. Because he has black shaggy ass hair. See, after Goldilocks, after that first encounter, Jimmy walks right past me and he points at me and he says, "You I'm gonna beat you. And I'm like, is Goldilocks conspiring with other homeless guys to come beat my ass? I was stressed the hell out. I was on high alert for such a long time. That's where the stalking bit came afterwards. And, you know, every now and then I still see him taking that same exact path, and I'm like, is it coincidental? Because I've noticed two other coworkers took the same exact route I take. I took that night, that day, that night. Anyway, I don't know if that's just a common traveling route for a lot of people, but he still uses it to this day. So maybe he lives around Central Park. I probably shouldn't have said that. I probably would have doxed myself. Oh my god. Uh, Whatever. After Jimmy does that, another guy who I never saw again. He did a small weird like I'ma beat you kind of thing too. So yeah, I was like, what the hell did I do wrong? Who is Daniel? What did he do to piss off so many homeless guys? And why am I in this? Anyway, I accepted that the cops would not do anything. The security guards ain't gonna do shit. So I took it into my own hands and I talked with the homeless guys, the local drunks, and I told them the situation. And what I did was like persuaded them to become my bodyguards. One even gave me a taser. This is the second one, with parts of the first one that he gave me. It lasted a good bit until he dropped, and the flashlight part didn't work. It didn't work, my bad. I think that makes me... I'm just going to keep drinking it. Wow, that's amazing. Anyway, that one broke. I found a knockoff brand version of the exact same model on Amazon for 20 bucks. That one broke. I bought another one, like an idiot. That one broke. So I'm like... and I decided to play mix and match with the parts. I broke these apart. The first one I broke apart entirely just to see like where everything was, how to take everything out, to make sure I don't break the other two, and I can maybe fix something that works. And voila. I'm waiting for Goldilocks to swing at me so I can tase his ass. That's... How funny would it be if it didn't work? Oh, it works. Okay. Besides that, first knife, I found another one about 2 weeks ago. This hinge is broke though, so I gotta fix that, otherwise I'm gonna cut myself. Is this video gonna get like some kind of warning or taken down if I'm showing weapons off? We'll find out. Anyway, I don't have a complete timeline of this. I'm sorry if I get dates wrong. Like I said, I've said this so many times, you would think I would memorize it more, but instead it just numbed my brain because I said it so many times and nothing ever happened. So this is the best you're gonna get. Last week, not last week, 2 weeks ago, I'm gonna start with Jimmy again. That guy I had hardly seen around, and I found out why. My neighbor upstairs, she's my coworker, and I didn't know she had a son. That same son that threatened me with like a stupid, weird threat of I'm beat you. And that, like, as soon as I forgot how it is that I found that out, but I debunked that. No, Goldilocks isn't conspiring with other homeless guys to come get my Daniel looking ass. Don't scratch that up. Jimmy, I don't know his actual name, got in a fight with my next door neighbor about, yeah, like 2 weeks ago. I've seen him around though, like, since March. And since then, I came to find out that he threatened my mom too, which did not comfort me at all. He, we did like this whole, what is it? How do I say it? My mom agreed my time and labor to the manager about 3 years ago to clean the buildings. The hallways, that is. Just mop them, sweep. And god dang it, that took time. And for a measly $200 a month, that is not worth it. And I kept telling her again and again. And during one of those nights when I was working and she was sweeping, turns out the same guy came from upstairs, and we both thought it was a homeless guy that snuck in. No, we know for sure it's the neighbor's son, because I'll get into that in a bit. Oh my god, like I said, I don't have a complete timeline of things, so I'm gonna backtrack a bit. Okay. Let me finish this bit first, and then, yeah. This guy comes from upstairs and threatens that he's gonna kill her too. What do you do with that information? Cops ain't gonna do anything. Yeah. Anyway, backtracking a bit, my favorite kitten died. The first one I found. And damn, that was a nasty hit. I remember, the first night I found them, I stayed outside waiting for the first one that I found, the chirping one, to, I don't know, find the mom. And I gave up when I saw that she wasn't coming. No, I didn't give up right then, but, I tried the next day after that, next night, not the next day after that. I tried again, and I finally found the mom, but she didn't seem to be in good spirits or in good health. So that's why I took it upon me to raise these two kittens by myself. A week after that, the manager... Oh no, I found Garfield. Where's Garfield? Come here, you. I found this sweet little plush thing inside the shed that they were in. I found out that was their nesting area. Thanks for going away. He was caked in dust, and it was raining heavily that day. So of course I took him in. The manager found, let's see, that would be 3 kittens. Yep, he found 5 more, which would be the 8 total. One already died, the first one. I gave 3 away. Did I give a 4th one away? I got one back. I don't know, it was a whole thing. And I guess I ended up with 3 cats. Another 2 died, I think. But, yeah, my favorite one died. And that was like losing a daughter, as weird as that sounds. and I'm probably gonna get laughed at for that, but that's honestly what it felt like to me. That, I wished I had prayers that, hey, I want a cat of my own. And how coincidental that I found with, like, the umbilical cord still attached, and estimating from how dry it was and when it fell off. I suspect Thea, I decided to call her, was born. Was it May that I found them? Am I getting my whole timeline mixed up now? I think so. It was the first of the month. I don't remember if it was March or May. God dang it. No, for sure I've seen Goldilocks around since March. But the altercation maybe happened in May 7th instead of March 7th. Oh my god, wow. Like I said, I've said this a lot of times, so a lot of events happened between March, May, and after that. Okay, going back a bit. Jimmy gets into a fight with the neighbor, and I woke up that morning to do laundry, and I saw the police, like, right outside, and I'm like, oh, wow, all groggy-eyed. I take my mom out to do some errands. About an hour later, we come back, and there is blood on our door. And I don't know if I've explained enough context here to, like, help you guys follow along with what I've gathered. Because, you best believe it, I Sherlock Holmes the hell out of this. But it didn't take long from, like, within a few seconds to realize Jimmy did that. And then we tell the cops we're still on the property, and it's like, hey, yeah, I don't know if this is part of your investigation, but there's blood on our door, and they took pictures, and that was that. Then, I don't know if I want to say my coworker's name. Let's call her L. First letter of her name, L. L comes up, about 10 minutes later, and claims to us, like, hey, you threw me over to the cops. You're gonna pay for that. I'm gonna call social services, and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna call immigration. And it was like, we didn't do shit. We don't care about you. Your son has threatened us. We can take your ass to court. Yeah. Blood on our door. Imagine. What a morning. Let's see. 2 days later. Okay, if you work retail, there's probably you're probably used to it, that people will try to run out. I don't know how good or bad your security is if you work retail or have seen or witnessed walkouts. I don't get paid enough to care, so, we just make stupid remarks whenever we see that kind of shit. But within such a close proximity from my job, of course my garden would get defiled by one of those thieves. When my mom heard some rustling, and I rush out, and the garden fence and some of my plants are screwed over, and the guy just had a big basket of food that he obviously ran out without paying, and just strewn all over my garden, and I'm like, oh, wow, yay. And I'm pretty sure there was another accomplice, because when I looked around, I saw another guy in an orange shirt. I texted the security guard that I knew was working that day if they just had a walkout, and he was like, yeah, why? And I took pictures, and I'm like, oh, look who decided to ruin my garden with all his crap. Waffles and yogurt. How amazing. How just absolutely fantastic. This is already 30 minutes long, and I'm not sure if you guys are going to take anything away from this, but I guess I'm just maybe asking for any self-defense resources. Not resources, but, like, I don't know. I did try meditation a few days ago, and wow, that is a game changer. When I did meditation before, it never worked. Because I didn't take my time, I guess. Tried meditation, and, yeah, I can see it's... Let's see, how is it that one article put it? Meditation helps with, like, not having any input into the brain when you have a lot of stuff going on. And helps with, like, the output part. And, yeah, I can see that. I can see that working. Yeah. It's always something new every day, and I've just only listed off what I found most relevant, what kind of connects together. But yeah, that's, how interesting. Do you guys believe in main characters in real life? Because, I don't know, when I was a kid, I always wanted to be somebody, I guess, and, I don't know. Make something that would outlast me, outlive me. And now that I just want to be left alone after I lost that, Oh, I don't know if I ever made an announcement about that. Probably never did. Let's see. During my last year of high school, I think I still have the video privated on my YouTube channel. I was recommended, I had to get letter of recommendations from my teachers to apply for a full ride scholarship to NCSA, I think it's called? No. What was the school? Doesn't matter. But it was a Posse Art Scholarship led by, I think, Michelle Obama, of all people. I'm not kidding. Yeah. But, the scale of, like, thousands across the U.S. applied for this scholarship. And I was one of the last standing ones. And I lost to a political question. What a nasty-ass hit that I still can't get over, even to this day. And it's not like, oh man, I'm still as sorrowful and guilt-ridden as I was when I got the news. But it took 3 months, 3 interviews. They recommended we had to have mentors, and I did that all by myself. And each interview that happened, people would get cut out, obviously. And I always told myself, oh man, I think I'm going to get cut out in this one. And I kept climbing up that ladder, and I was like, how am I making it this far? And when I made it to the 3rd interview, and I finally was accepted, I thought that was the end of it. But once public eye is out of the picture, they pulled a 4th meeting out of their ass. And what do you know? It's just political questions. And they gave me a whole paragraph of a question for a prompt. And they gave the next guy who screamed, I don't want to get political, but it was a political meeting with politifucks and polito-whacks and polito-whatevers. But the guy screamed liberal with his blue hair and tattoos and piercings. They just asked him what his stance was on abortion. And that is not a fair fight at all. And I'm gonna severely summarize this question because it has context. And I don't remember it, obviously, all of it. But basically, it's asking, if you were in a school event, a school-gathered event of a concert, or a play of sorts, and it involved like Native Americans, and the costumes had one defect of cultural appropriation, and somebody from the crowd pointed that out, and they stopped the whole show for that, for some reason. How would you fix that in that very moment? What would you say? I'm curious, what would you say? Because I didn't know how to answer that. And yet I did, and I don't remember my response, but god damn it, that was tough. That was the final question, and I'm pretty damn sure I nailed all the rest, even despite not knowing anything about politics and not being into politics, and I still am not into politics, even though after the whole, like a few months later, my civics class introduced me into politics, and I better understood what ideologies and terms meant, but I still don't give a fuck about politics. Also, I'm not looking at the camera, goddamn. It's, How would you answer that? How would you answer that? It hurts. And my best friend told me, like, as soon as I told him the news, that I lost. He said, "That's fishy. That's weird. Maybe it was a good thing you didn't get that scholarship because it would have been a whole political hell for you." And maybe he has a point, but the road I'm leading, I can't help but think that, usually what if situations just doesn't mean it's just because it could have been different, could have been better. Maybe it could have been better. Because, I don't know, I think I texted one person about this. But how did it go? And I guess I should say this now because you best believe all these losses and all these running around in circle situations, they tire me out. And yeah, I don't know what else to say, but I genuinely feel like all my followers, my audience, they most likely hate me, or they don't look up to me in a good light. Because what have I done? I haven't accomplished anything. I'm 19, and oh no, you're still young, they say, but come on. One can still dream, and one can still fail. And goddamn, I failed a lot. Ow. I don't want to leave this on the negative note. I did start recently drawing again. I don't know how, but it was like a fading light. And I was afraid I would just cut out art for the rest of my life. And out of nowhere, I think that I found that little piece in me, that little drive, that told me, you know what? You failed. But, get back up. Just keep going, getting back up. I think I finally found it in me to accept the "you can do this" kind of message. Because imagine, I didn't have a mentor, I didn't have anybody. Throughout my last year of high school, a lot of people were celebrated for the scholarships that they applied for, $1,000, $2,000. But imagine, I had a full ride scholarship within my grasp. And I lost it to such a political, stupid ass question. You're probably thinking, I'm so glad I'm not that guy. I'm just, I'm just, I'm just playing. Yeah, I don't know. I just want to know what people think about all this that I've said. Yeah, not much else to say. Thank you for watching.